Hello, my name is Luigi Vitiello and I have 29 years old. This is Ida Pellegrino and other members of ship performance monitoring team. This startup have realized an innovative software to monitor the fuel consumption, CO2 emission, and ship performance as a function of main sailing parameters. The problem. The last years, the growth in competitiveness imposed by the shipping market, the rise in fuel price, and the new international regulation of environmental impact have urged shipping companies to pay an increase in attention to ship fuel consumption and CO2 emission. Next. The idea. Ship performance monitoring team, after a research done in this field with my PhD program and your thesis master degree, and collaboration with other shipping companies, formulated a new methodology to ship fuel consumption prediction as a function of sailing condition like wind speed, wind direction, ship speed, displacement, stabilizer fin operating time, engine operation mode. A software is currently developing. Next. How it works. For example, we can consider a ship which sails from port A to port B. The ship performance monitoring with a sensor network installed on modern ship is able to acquire the sailing condition data. The software, by statistical approach, is able to forecast the ship fuel consumption and its prediction interval calculation. Next slide. This is a typical output of this software. This is a PDF files. You just okay. This methodology can be used to control the actual fuel consumption and to identify the potential anomalous voyage in terms of fuel consumption, or to demonstrate the effectiveness of a specific efficiency improvement operation, which is strategic for carbon credit acquisition. In this graph is shown on x-axis an example, the voyage number, and on y-axis the fuel consumption. For the red point is the actual fuel consumption for this voyage, and with this line we show the predicted fuel consumption, and with the other line we show the upper and lower prediction when the actual fuel consumption falls outside the prediction interval, the possible problem may have occurred. In this case, this is an example of a problem during the sail navigation. Next slide. The market, the total world fleet amount about 100,000 units. The Italian fleet is about 1,664 units. Next slide. Our competitors is the Cetena, that is the research department of Fincantieri shipyards, and the others. They are only data acquired and report. We can able to forecast and monitoring the fuel consumption. True difference for ship owner respect to the other competitors is the decision-making approach. He will able to judge the voyage with high fuel consumption, quantifying the risk. Next slide. Business model is the direct sale to shipyard and shipping company. shipyards and shipping company, after the pay, they are able to log in a web platform to show the data and the reports. Next slide. Ship performance monitoring team is composed by 5 people, and this is I, Ida, Paola Manzo, that is the master degrees in architecture and experience in Middle East land, and Maurizio Mirabile, CTO of HP System SRL, and Biagio Palumbo, associated professor at the University of Naples. Thank you.
Okay, so you guys had a tough job because it's 5:15, people are dead after a whole day of presentation. If you come here, you read slides, chances are people will fall asleep. So you need to bring it up a notch and get some interest. So forget the slides. Most of the time, slides make a disservice to you. So the best presentation, I have 0 slide. I'm really passionate, really, I'm trying to communicate to you, okay. Right? Okay, you're talking to the back of the room. So, and the reason why I'm saying that, I mean, it's not just the presentation style, but it's more, you need to, who's selling the product at the end of the day? And the presentation skills are important because this is a crucial part of a potential successful startup. If there is nobody within the company that is able to sell, it's a research project. So we're going to do some other kind of filtering for research projects. Okay, so that's what we were trying to explain this morning. Sure, all the IP intellectual property you guys are creating is great, but here we're trying to build companies that eventually can be self-sustainable, that can prosper into the commercial market. And prosper means if you need to go and look for money, you need to be able to sell.
Yes.
If you need to look for people to engage with your company, you know, hire people, you need to be able to sell. If you need to find customers, you need to be able to sell. Okay, so that's the kind of issue that, you know, one of the reasons why we tend to, and in competition like this, we tend to have pitching competition. It's not to see how nice you put things together, but it's to show how good you are to sell.
Yes.
So I'm sorry I went a little bit overboard, but I mean, the core question is there a company who's selling?
Yes. In our group, the expert in the speaking and communication and in is Paola that now is in England and for this day.
Is there a company?
No, this is
still a project within the.
Because the next day I end the PhD program, and after I develop this idea.
Okay, all right. So the issue that I think there is a great. I mean, we saw it even I think last year. There is an opportunity. There is an intellectual property. It's not a business yet. So you need to turn it into. Forget all the research data.
Yes.
Have you tested with somebody? What's the price point? You know, this is my go-to-market strategy. Again, it still looks way too much as a research project inside a university, which is, again, not saying it's not interesting. It's just a very different world. So that's kind of what is being perceived on this side. You know, there's a lot of research going on there. There's a market opportunity, I'm sure.
Yes.
But still, the way that you put it together is still a research project.
Yes, understand, yes.
I would be curious to know exactly what's your typical customer. So I understood it's a software as a service. Basically, you log in and you can get benefits. But what would be how many customers you could address? Is it like 100 liners? Is it 1,000 shipyards, roughly? How much revenue you would get for them? And how much value somehow you're generating? As an example, there are 100 shipyards that if use this could save as much as these millions per year. Therefore, we think we could get this much money from them.
a shipping company now pay for one ship 1,000 euros for a similar and collected data service. But with this
For one ship?
for one ship, yes,
1,000.
1,000 euros. And the total world fleet is about 100,000 ship. And but with this methodology is possible to acquire the carbon credit, that is money, and that is another solution after the collected data and reported with the other company.
Okay, so they pay 1,000 per ship today.
Yes.
How much would you be saving them, or how much value has this to them?
No, but this methodology don't save fuel consumption, don't save money, but is able to control, to monitoring. Is another focus. But if you make an efficiency operation on your ship, if you don't monitoring your fuel consumption, you don't say when you have saved in terms of fuel consumption and money. And now the shipping company never control this fuel consumption and never acquired the carbon credits.
Okay, just no more answer, just a comment.
Yes.
Still, I don't understand the value to them. So they pay 1,000, but is it worth 10,000 for them? So they are just happy because they pay 1,000, or they think this 1,000 is money useless? So no way different answer. Just as a feedback in general, when you introduce a product, it must be very clear what the product is, and either it helps the company get more revenues or save costs, and that's the value. And then you try to get, with the best possible salesman, as much as you can from that value.
No, I help the company to save cost and to help to acquire the carbon credit and the money.
Again, it would be nice to know how much money, how valuable that is for them.
The value of this service is a percent of carbon credit or fuel or cost saving.
Again, for instance, one ship, by spending $2,000, how many credits and how valuable they are?
One ship,
just a number.
One ship, 5,000 euros in 1 year. Per ship.
5,000 euros.
5,000.
That's an information. So anytime, try really to provide a measure of what is the benefit you are delivering. Because if not, we are helping to saving you money.
Yes.
How much? Or you are helping you to do something. Okay, what's my bet? So always try to go straight to the point, because that's at the end is what 5K per year is nothing. I don't care. Oh, it's a lot of money. I like to take a look at, right?
Okay.
Just people like to know numbers, get their attention talking about numbers more than